You've been around for a number of years, right, as an organisation, very prominent advertising around football grounds and whatever. It always must be a difficult task. First of all, it's unbelievable that you've got the task. But secondly, how do you then stay relevant? How do you keep changing the message? How do you keep getting to the people you're supposed to be getting to?
Yeah, look, it's always a challenge, in racism and other forms of discrimination. They ebb and flow over time. Sometimes they get better, sometimes they get worse. And over the last 5 or 6 years, as with the rest of society, we've had more challenges with a rise in discrimination. I think one of the things that particularly wanted to talk about today was our fan education programme.
Right.
So we know that that you can't just completely ban your way out of this. You can't just cancel people and get rid of people from the game completely. And not everyone.
Yes.
You know, there's an assumption when someone commits an act that they're a career racist or something. Actually, inner ground, you talk to the police, very often they'll point to 3 reasons for all forms of antisocial behaviour and public order offences, which is alcohol, cocaine, or alcohol and cocaine. And very often that's what is underlying it. Some of these...
And often people get braver or they get carried away, or, by being in a crowd.
I'm sorry, but
absolutely.
if I drank a huge amount of alcohol or broke the law and took drugs, I don't think racist slurs would come out of my mouth. I think there are underlying problems,
Yeah, but the underlying problems of football supporters and the animalistic way that supporters sort of gather together.
But it's disinhibiting. The alcohol and the crowd.
I agree with you. I would never... There's no point saying I've never heard of. Maybe I just sit in different areas of the ground and whatever. But I would never expect anybody around me ever to come out with a... I mean, when our team is losing, everybody gets angry. It doesn't make me want to smash a bottle over somebody's head or shout something racist, but it does to certain people. Yeah,
absolutely. And part of what we're trying to do with the fan education programme is for people for whom that's appropriate when they're making a decision with the club is... nearly always they're coming to us because they've got some kind of ban. They've been banned for 8 games or for a season or for 3 years. And so we work with them one-on-one with each individual fan.
I understand how they wouldn't be as brave or as awful or as racist if you get them on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
But are you saying that they become more racist if they're banned?
No, what happens is if they're banned, then what we will do is we'll have a conversation with them. We run a one-on-one programme. And try to understand.
Can they ever be reversed?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the idea: is that you get people back into stadium. In some ways, I suppose they're expecting you to completely throw the book at them, and if you show a degree of understanding and was this a momentary aberration? This isn't someone who is a career racist, and I think this is part of the thing. There's a bit of a lazy assumption that everyone is that says something, and that isn't always the case, actually.
Do you think things are getting better, or do you think things are getting worse? I mean, we've heard people on this programme saying that since the Black Lives Matter thing broke out during lockdown, things have actually got worse.
Well, I think things have got worse over the last 5 or 6 years, and you don't have to trust me. We have our own data and own statistics for our annual reporting, and they've been going up over the last 5 or 6 years. But just look at the Home Office's own hate crime statistics. We haven't seen a marking blip since BLM. It's actually just been going up over the last 5 or 6 years, and so there's been rising discrimination. I think lockdown probably also had an impact on it, because we saw at the start of this season there was a massive spike in the first 6 weeks of the season. It's probably 50% higher than we'd ever had reports before.
Oh, goodness. It's so hard to work out. Taking the knee, where are we at with that? Will it be a permanent fixture in the game?
I don't know. That's up to the players. It's the players, that was their decision. They wanted to do that. And I think the role of us and anyone else in football is to support the players in any peaceful protest that they want to make. Ultimately, I'm much more focused and interested in what's the action that we're going to do. The players, that's their platform. It's right that they use it in that way. Our job is to convert that into change.
Yeah. And Sanjay, how do you reach supporters? How do you reach... do you do this through the clubs? Do you do this through a list of people who are banned? Or are you saying to people out there, look, if you've got a problem with the way you think, or you're with fellow supporters and you're worried about the way they think, can they come to you?
It's normally we get a referral from a club because they're about to ban someone or they're banning someone, but they think that that person is amenable to education, that they could come back into the game. They could, very often it's just about understanding the consequences of your actions. We did this with a 12-year-old kid who was sort of almost on the autism spectrum, and so actually we shouldn't just be losing that person to the game. That kid just didn't understand that what they were doing was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Sad, but I understand what you mean. Difficult. Thank goodness you're there and continue to keep kicking it out.